Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you watching on YouTube, just came back from Scope. It is March 1st, 2016. For those of you watching in the future, hello. Lots of stuff at Scope, and I've got gigabytes and gigabytes of video that we need to go through and edit in collaboration with my sponsors, Intralinks. So we're going to be sorting through tons of video and uploading a bunch of them going forward this month in March. So you're going to see lots of videos being uploaded. But if you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the blog, and keep your questions coming in, all right? It's Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. It's still the most popular way to get a hold of me, but you can also call or text 949-415-6256. If you do call, you're probably going to get sent a voicemail, and that's not because I don't want to talk to you. It's because I'm probably on another call. These days, literally, my calendar is just conference call after conference call. So text is probably more efficient, or email, good old-fashioned email, or just if you're really smart and you want to hack this, I'm on Snapchat a lot. So if you add me on Snapchat, you're going to get a quick response from me that way, just because there's less people following me on Snapchat right now than there are on other channels. So anyways, with that being said, this video is going to be good old-fashioned business video for you clinical researchers or you people out there thinking about starting a research clinic. And it's what are some realistic expectations for opening your own research clinic, and then how quickly are you going to receive payment? All right, like how quickly is revenue going to start coming in? So let's say you have a research site, either you rented your own or you found a doctor that is willing to share their office space with you. Let's say you have a clinic, you have an address, you have a CLIA waiver, you have all the equipment you need. Let's say you get a study today, okay? You have a site selection visit. Chances are, because 90% of the time you're going to get the study if they're coming out to your site to do a site selection visit. So let's assume you get the study, all right? You get a site selection visit today. There's two ways this can go. You can either be added on as an add-on site, in which case they're going to want you to start enrolling immediately. So within a few weeks of you getting the contract and budget negotiated and signed and regulatory documents submitted and then IRB approval obtained, you could probably start screening subjects within 30 days from your site selection visit, right? Which will happen immediately after your site initiation visit. So 30 days from your SSV, you can start screening subjects if it's an add-on site. If it's a brand new study, they won't let you screen patients until they're ready to activate all the sites. So typically what they do on brand new studies is schedule an investigator meeting. Okay, so you'll have to wait for the investigator meeting, then you'll come back from the investigator meeting, and then you'll either have a site initiation visit immediately after the investigator meeting, or if you were fortunate enough, you would have had your site initiation visit prior to the investigator meeting. The problem with studies where you're not an add-on site, you kind of have to wait for the sponsor to want to get the study started. So you're not put into a situation where the sponsor is desperately seeking add-on sites and they want to get you up and running quickly. You're kind of on the sponsor's timeline there, as far as when they're ready to get started. So it may take longer than a month. It may take 2 or 3 months after the site selection visit for you to actually start being able to screen patients, which at the end of the day, it's the only way we get paid in this business is when patients are being seen for study visits, okay? So that's the worst case scenario. You might have to wait 3 months after your first site selection visit. Luckily, in 2016, there's a lot of add-on sites because sponsors are having issues with their other sites enrolling subjects, so they bring on these add-on sites or rescue sites, and the idea is for these sites to get up and running quickly. All right, so whether you're an add-on site or whether you're a site for a study that hasn't started yet, expect anywhere from 1 to 3 months after your site selection visit for you to actually be able to start screening subjects. All right, and now for those of you who have been watching my videos, you may have noticed that there's screen failure ratios, right? So just because you're screening a subject doesn't mean you're going to be getting paid. So you can have a lot of screen failures and be doing a whole lot of work and actually not receiving revenue because you're not randomizing subjects based on the negotiated randomization to screen fail ratio, which every budget is going to have something in there. So just because you're screening patients doesn't mean you're going to get paid, right? It depends on that ratio, and it also depends on how many subjects you're actually able to enroll or randomize in the study. So to kind of wrap this up and to summarize, be prepared for 6 months of you working your rear end off before you start getting your first revenue from your business, from your research clinic. And that's with one study. The idea is you get that first study, you start enrolling subjects, you get more studies simultaneously, you start enrolling subjects in those studies. Now you have multiple streams of income. After that 6 months, if you have more than one study, or if you just have one study but you're enrolling lots of patients, the revenues become much more regular, right? So, but those first 6 months are going to be your biggest challenge. You're going to want to give up. You're going to be questioning yourself as to whether it's even worth it to be in this business of clinical research. I've been there. Most of the clients I consult with, most of the partners I deal with experience the same lows, and it's usually during this initial period of those 0 to 6 months, the first month that you open your clinic, and then up to that 6-month period where you're doing a lot of work and you're not seeing a penny from your activities, okay? And just because you've been in business for 6 months doesn't entitle you to get revenue. If you haven't been able to do a good job of enrolling patients, you're not going to get revenue. It might take longer than 6 months, but best case scenario, 6 months. Be prepared to invest time, money, blood, sweat, and tears into this business. Hopefully you're getting more than one study, so you're able to diversify yourself. You're able to get multiple streams of income coming in. You're able to get a wider variety of patients to join your clinical research studies, and you're not at the mercy of one sponsor. If they decide to cancel the study, all your revenue is dried up. You should have multiple streams of income. If you need help with this, of course, I do consulting, so give me a call, 949-415-6256. But just wanted to kind of bring it back down to earth here and give you a realistic understanding of what it takes to run a research site, and then how quickly a research clinic, a startup research site, typically starts generating revenue, right? So this is Dan Sfera from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.